G'day guys, and how are you this evening? If you didn't realize, we have a brand new intro video to the Movies and More show. Yes, we're trying to get more and more professional. Big shout out to Nathan Furable who did that intro video for us. Thank you very much, mate. It is fantastic. But welcome this Sunday night. I am your host, Sean Keenan. You are watching Comics to Movies and More. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. And as always, my co-host, Stephen, how are you going tonight, mate?
I'm good. It's Sunday. Look, the days blur a little bit for me. I don't even know. I'm because I'm in lockdown. So what seems to tend to happen is a weekend doesn't really feel like a weekend because you don't actually leave. Nothing changes, and it kind of just blurs into this. Don't get me wrong. I love working from home, but it does blur the boundaries a lot. Like I end up checking work emails when I know I shouldn't, and I end up doing stuff I know. Anyway, before we dive into today's topic, there is a special show coming next Sunday. We can't release all the details about it yet. The details will all come out probably on the Wednesday. But if you're watching, it's going to be really, really special. It's the first of its kind, a really special guest, but you just have to wait until Sunday.
Yes, super excited for that show. We've had a lot been going on behind the scenes in the time that I've been off and not on the show. So I'm super excited to have things all kind of rolling into together now. Also, we want to put it out there. Today we're going to be talking about how to set up a Kickstarter page. You would know that Stephen and I have run quite a few Kickstarters. I've got my latest Kickstarter going to go live on Friday, and we thought it'd be a really good opportunity to do a little bit of in-depth design or show you how we go around setting up our Kickstarter. So but first off, let's say hello to everyone. Afternoon, Moira, I hope you are having a great afternoon. Sazigal, thank you for watching. I know there's at least another couple of people watching. If you want to drop a comment, we'll give you guys a shout out as well. So
have you watched Shang-Chi yet? I really want to watch it. I've been trying to keep off everything because the spoilers are coming
here as well, dude. I'm in Melbourne. We can't go to the movies yet, and it's not on Disney Plus.
I know. But the thing is, the spoilers are hitting. I'm doing my apps because I'm subscribed to a lot of stuff, and I'm different feeds, different readers, different. But I've just been shutting all of them down because I don't want to. Look, it's already been spoiled a little bit on some of the characters that appear. And I know, Sean, you haven't seen it yet, so I'm not going to say which characters appear. But I don't want to know. And it's just coming out. I just really want to watch it because usually with most of these Marvel movies, I watch it the week of the release. If I usually watch it that weekend or that weekend after. Or sometime in that week. And it's...
It's really crazy because I've even seen little things that like the Rotten Tomato score. It's gotten like 95 out of 100. It's one of the highest rated Marvel movies and everything. I'm like, don't tell me that. It's like it's gonna be really good, and it just sounds like it's a good action film set in the Marvel universe, and it's just I would just wish they would hurry up and do the express release either on digital or that. I don't mind paying type of thing.
I would have paid to go watch the movie anyway. Like I've if you ever go through my Facebook feed, you'll see movie tickets after I see the movie. That's the other thing I like about Shang-Chi, because I grew up a lot on Hong Kong cinemas. Like Tony Leung, he actually starred in the first, what they call Infernal Affairs, which actually became that famous Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson one.
Okay.
So that was actually that was the one that oh gosh, what was that name of that American movie? Let me just Google it. Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson. What was the name of that movie? The Departed. So The Departed was actually based on a Hong Kong movie, which Tony Leung was actually one of the stars for it. And yeah, look, he's always been one of my favorite actors. I always loved him. And Michelle Yeoh used to be one of the staples from all the Jackie Chan movies. So for me, it's really cool because, and I think Jackie knows this. Michelle Yeoh's Malaysian as well, and I've been dying to get her autograph, and but it's just really cool.
Jackie for autographs, man. He's the king of getting autographs. I'm sick of seeing that Getty's image of him holding up Aquaman's photo at the premiere or wherever that was. That seems to make the circle everywhere, even on news articles and everything. So,
and the one thing I really hate about Shang-Chi is I've got a good friend of mine, and she's an actor. So basically, she does a lot of mainly Australian productions and whatever. But because she's of Asian descent, when Shang-Chi was filming in Sydney, they had a call out for anybody of Asian descent because there were, the movie does get one scene in China and they're flying, and she's in the trailer. There's one scene in the trailer where it's a airplane scene, and I won't name her just because she might not want to be named. But in the airplane scene, when they pan across, she's there and she has a speaking role. The thing is, I don't even know whether it's been cut. She doesn't know whether she's been cut in the speaking role because there's one part where she's meant to talk to one of the flight stewardess. And she said, look, she filmed it and she talked to the stewardess, but because she's in Sydney, she can't see it. And she's thinking, I'm in the film. Even I don't know whether I'm in it or not.
So you tell me like the cast and crew and all that didn't get a chance to...
Usually there's an extra, and what she told me was usually when she gets into a big budget movie, there's an extra screening, like, the extras, and then, they basically in the city, they bring everybody. It's a nice thing to do. Hasn't been done yet, and she doesn't know when it's going to be done. So, and the thing is, because when you film, you rarely see the cut, the edit. So she knows she's in the trailer. She knows she's still in the movie, thank God, because sometimes she gets cut altogether. But she knows because that scene filmed across and it would appear in the trailer. So she knows she's there, but she doesn't know whether her speaking scene has been cut because it's a one-liner. She doesn't know anything. She just knows she's in there for 10 seconds. And the thing that really bugged me was at the time, she actually messaged me saying, hey, look, dear, because when they do call-outs, they don't usually tell you what it's for. They just say, hey, look, there's a call-out happening. Looking for people of Asian descent. Are you interested? And I was like, oh man, it's gonna be, I've got to work. I can't take 2 days off work. It's not gonna happen. And then after day one, she messaged, I can say all this now because the movie is out. After day one, she messaged me going, you've just missed out. You should have said yes to me because it was this movie. They were. Oh,
no way, mate.
The thing was, and I was saying to her, I would have paid you to get on this movie. You don't have to pay me. I would have paid you. And it's like, look, the thing is, I don't know whether I would have made the cut, to be really fair.
You never say no to an opportunity, mate.
Because usually the call out is because they don't usually tell you what the call out is for. If the call out was for Shang-Chi and it was clear it was for Shang-Chi, I would have just taken the whole week off work. I was like, I'm going now. But they don't tell you. So she didn't know it was Shang-Chi until it started filming. And then when I think it was the Simi Liu, I think the actor, when he walked in, then she's going, wait a minute, she's filming this. I know this movie is filming. Oh my God, I'm on the set of Shang-Chi. And that's when most extras find out when they're on.
I want to know, did Jackie get in? Did he get into the film?
Did you make the cut, Jackie, or did you at least attend the call out?
Jackie, let us know whether you made the cut, mate. I want to know
because if you're in the movie, it's gonna look. What usually happens is when you get the call out, not everybody makes the cut. They usually go through a couple of rounds and stuff like that. But man, I didn't even turn up. That's my kicker. I didn't even turn up, so that's on me.
Yeah, I've got a few friends from New Zealand, and they always joke it's harder to find someone that wasn't in Lord of the Rings than someone that was in Lord of the Rings, because they had so many extras and it's filmed there for so long that there's so many people were involved, type of thing. So
the thing was, with Shang-Chi, they actually had a specific, you needed to be of Asian descent, and I'm going, I could have been me. Oh, look, pop up Jackie's comment. This breaks my heart.
Oh, dude.
The martial art thing as well, because what happened was, this is what my friend told me. If you have some martial art experience, you were put into a separate category. Because I'm assuming, again, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I'm assuming there will be a training sequence where, because the dad owns a school, like the 10 Rings is like a school where they train all these people up. So if you have martial experience, you went to a separate category. So Jackie, you would have been a shoo-in.
Yeah. Oh man, Jackie, I would have loved to have seen you in it. You would have never let any of us live it down if you got into that either.
You could scroll the credits and then your name would appear, there it is, freeze. That's me.
Screenshot, post, life goals done.
I'm part of the MCU. I'm there. How cool would that be?
That would be very cool.
I know. Cool. So when you know how they were filming Thor, when there was a call out for Thor, was a different call out though. My friend didn't make the cut for Thor, but it was a total different call out. They're looking for people of different backgrounds, and you know what? Shang-Chi would have been perfect because they were actually looking for me.
Yeah. Well, have you watched anything else lately then? I did get a chance to watch the latest Suicide Squad, which
I loved it. I so loved it. I
enjoyed that 100 times more than I did the first one.
The first one was rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Yeah. This one was fantastic.
It was funny. It actually the first 2 minutes had me going, well, what the hell's going on? Like, I won't spoil it if people haven't seen it. But James Gunn, he did that really, really well, type of thing. So and even right towards the end, some of the little tidbits and that are at the end, I was like, that's really, really funny and really clever. But I've been catching up on a couple of TV series lately. So I've been just started the last season of Lucifer. A big fan of Tom Ellis's Lucifer, and also been watching The Good Girls on Netflix. So that is, and then also been watching the Contender series with the UFC. So I'm a big UFC fan. So watched a bit of that today while designing our new website. So that's another thing that we can say that we're about to redesign and release a brand new website, which is really cool. It'll be focusing on Comics2Movies, our new brand, as well as all of our series. So we'll be moving away from a lot of the limited edition prints and all that type of stuff. So do keep an eye out on our website, because we're going to do a massive sale. So if you're after a cool limited edition print on something, keep an eye out on this show and on our webpage and our Facebook page, because we will throw up some really good deals in the coming week or two before we launch our new website, which we should do on the show. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, we should. I'm going to give you a bit of a segue, talking about shows you're watching. Well, because somebody's been making me do lettering for them, I don't have much time to watch shows. But speaking of which, I did a really cool time lapse, if you like to bring that up, because I don't have time to watch shows. He's this way, which way? That way. That way. The other way.
Other way.
You're making me work on my weekends.
It's I'll tell you what, I remembered that I'm not going to show this because I haven't even told anyone that this story that is not in the Kickstarter that's coming up. It's actually for something else we're doing.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
But no, just kidding. I'll chuck it up and then we can talk about it after that. No wonder you can let us so many pages so quickly, mate. That is so fast.
It's time lapsed. I'm a lot slower. I have to say, just on the coloring side of that, and if people can't recognize it, it's actually a original black and white from XCT Most Wanted. When you actually zoom in, like because when you letter, you actually have to zoom in a little bit to get the angles and stuff right. The coloring is fantastic. Like her lips on the second panel and the way it's faded out and stuff like that. Look, I have to say, it pops. It's really, really well done.
So I'm going to throw this up here, and I'm gonna like name drop. You didn't name drop before. You didn't say who your friend was in the movie, but the person that did this story, which is our Achilles and Ennio story from Most Wanted. If people don't know, or people won't know, but we're announcing it now, is we've gone back and recolored Most Wanted. So early next year, we will be releasing a remastered version of Most Wanted. So it'll be fully color, which looks fantastic. Wilson's gone through and colored it, and because we've got different artists because of the anthology, the colors he's done are quite different for each story, which is great. But what I was going to say was the artist that did this one, his name's Eddie Nunez. He actually did the latest Netflix series for He-Man.
Really? That's fantastic.
Yes. So, that's really, kind of a feather in our cap in regards to, we've worked with some pretty cool people on XCT, but, this one I was super, super happy with. And, I'll let people know that once you see all of this colored and that, you're going to really, really love the story. If you liked the black and white version, you'll love the colored version. But, we're only down, I think, to our last 50 books of the black and white version. So once we've gotten rid of all of those, we'll get onto the remastered version. So yeah.
No, it's been really fun to letter this one, because I've had the chance to really make it pop a little bit more with the colors, the re-lettered. It does look a lot better. Like I think I've shown Shaun some of the befores and afters, and it has come up an absolute treat. So it's something to definitely look forward to.
And I have to say, man, if people haven't seen, we've thrown up quite a few of Stephen's how-to letter time-lapse videos, which shows, him doing different books, different colors, different styles, So if you haven't had a look at that, you can check out our YouTube channel. It's got all the how-tos in there. And, again, this is why we decided to do this little how-to in regards to the Kickstarter, to kind of, help you guys if there's people out there that want to create their own Kickstarters, or if you're someone like me that just likes to know the behind the scenes of how things are created and you've never done one, these type of videos are really good to watch and see. So I think that's a good segue into getting into our Kickstarter. So what I'll do is this is the what we call the preview link. So it will show you what your page looks like when it goes live. But what I thought I might do is go back to the very start and show you step by step each of the different different steps. So and I'll let you, Stephen, jump in at any time if you think that there's any differences or you do anything differently or anything like that. But the first thing you do is it comes up once you have created one, and you'll be asked for your project title, which is limited to 60 characters. So a lot of the times you want to make sure that this is short and sharp, because this is what will be seen on the Kickstarter page. And then the next part is the subtitles. So this is like your log line. And I don't know whether we've talked about log lines on the show before, but that's like, what your book is in about a sentence or two. So, you're trying to entice people to be interested about your book, your comic, your graphic novel, or this works for, if you're selling T-shirts or whatever. It's got to be something clever, something enticing, and something that makes people go, oh, I'll click on that and jump into it. So how long does it usually take you to come up with your log line, Stephen?
Oh, look, I rewrite it so many times. Okay. No, I'm serious. It's the elevator pitch.
Not just me.
It is seriously difficult to write. I just put it out there. It is one of the it's easier to write a paragraph than it is to write one sentence. Yeah. And you end up chucking stuff around, and I think you need to have 160 characters. I don't think it's even number of words. I think you need like 160 characters. It's like a text message, basically. You have to fit it into a text message, and that's the first thing people will see. So it's difficult. So write it, rewrite it until you get it right.
And that's why I suck at Twitter, because I even struggle to do a decent tweet that kind of garners any sort of attention type of thing. So Facebook is a lot easier because you can do that at least that paragraph type of thing. So the next part is your project category. So for XCT Monsters, the main category is comics, but then I've selected a subcategory which is anthologies. Now you can actually not select a subcategory at all, or there are other ones, which is comic books, events, graphic novels, and web comics. The events ones are a lot for if you're doing a convention or those type of things. Your comic books, usually your single issue or floppies. Graphic novels, your collected comics or one big story. And then you got your web comics, where a lot of people are coming across from webtoons and those type of things, and now creating comics and graphic novels and everything off their webtoon stuff. So they've got their own little section there as well. Do you always use the subcategory?
Usually I just chuck the graphic novels. Look, subcategory doesn't usually make too much difference, to be really fair, because most people don't usually drill down below the main category in most cases. So again, it's much for muchness, but put it in. look, whatever tools that you have available, always just use it. But it doesn't actually affect the project too much, because most people, I want to see comics that explore comics. They don't go explore comics and then drill down one more. Very few people do the extra 2 or 3 clicks.
Yeah, 100%. The next part is just add in your location. I've just put this as Melbourne AU, a little bit broader. I haven't done my town. If you don't know, I live in Gisborne in regional Victoria, but that's the reason why I've put Melbourne. And then the next one is really, really important, which is your project image. So this image is what will be seen on the Kickstarter prior to someone clicking into your project. So that's the first image that they'll see. So what's the rule of thumb I've heard of, and you tell me, Stephen, if you've heard the same thing, is that you keep text to a minimum, and that the image should be, captivating, eye-grabbing, and something that will entice people to want to click on it. So for this one, we chose Ben Sullivan's Pegasus and the Chimera image, which is a double-page spread in the anthology, and it's just absolutely beautiful. This is actually not even the whole double-page spread. There's a little bit more around the bottom, the sides, and up the top, but we kind of cropped it to make the image the way it is.
The good thing about that image as well, and this is where I cheat a little bit, because that image is one of the few things that there's some things once you launch, you cannot change. That image is changeable at any time. So when I usually have a pre-launch image where I use slightly different, it's coming soon and stuff like that, I usually tend to do something like that. And then I tend to have a live image. And then after that, it's the final, before it ends, I usually think, do I want to keep this image? Because as soon as the project ends, that image locks as well. So before it locks, you might want to think, look, what is the final image I want for this project? And I usually change it a few. So usually in the initial image, I sometimes say coming soon. Sometimes, and sometimes when it's done, I remove that image and chuck a new one on. Just note that you can change that until the project ends. So that's
it's funny that you said that, because this Kickstarter is the first time I'm going to do that. So I've been a little lazy in the fact that I've kept that same image throughout the pre-launch and then the launch. So the day of the launch, we're actually changing this image, so it will be actually the wraparound cover of the actual graphic novel that we'll chuck up there for that. But yes, I'm hoping that's good, because I have been promoting this for a couple of months. So when it went live, I wanted to have something different to show people, and not keep showing the same image all the time. And I think that's really important as well, especially when you're advertising on Facebook and all those type of things, that you want to kind of change the imagery and change the different things that you're showing people to entice them in. So then you'll notice here that this is blank. So this is where your Kickstarter video goes. So I'm currently waiting on my Kickstarter video. So I have recorded it. I've just sent it off to Nathan to collate it all together and make it look pretty, because he's much better at that than I am. So once I get that, I should have that either today or by the time I wake up tomorrow. I will drop that in there. Now, can be up to 5,000 megabytes, so it is a decent size file that you can do. So you can do some pretty cool graphics and all that in your video. So now, on a rule of thumb, how many people do you usually have yours watch your video, Stephen? Is it about 80%, or is it lower than that? Or
I'll tell you exactly. Give me a sec. So the last one we ran was Terra Olympus. I'll get the number for Terra Olympus. look, people do watch videos. And I'll like, I know some people go, "Oh, I'm not gonna put the effort in," but you know what? If you're gonna go all the way to do this, put the effort in for the video. That's my thing.
Agree. Yeah, I agree.
Let's just see. It's a tool that's available. Same with everything else. It's if they give you something that you can use, why not use it? So with Terra Olympus, we had 205 video plays all up.
Okay. Yeah, I think Fractured Shards was like that outlier for us where it was like 80s, like something ridiculous in the amount of plays that that it had. So yeah, I always reckon do it if you, as you said, there's a tool there for them to use, even though it does say it's optional. I 100% recommend it. The next one is probably one of the most important things that you need to do, and that is your goal amount. So for XCT Monsters, we're trying to raise $5,500, and this is a fairly new thing that they've Kickstarter's added, which is a calculator. So it helps you work out what all your costs are, so that you can set a realistic funding goal. So I think one of the biggest things, especially for first-time creators, is that they set a very low goal because they want to meet their target and everything, but then they're unable to actually fulfill because they actually don't have enough money or their own money to actually finish the project. So, you know, again, if you haven't used Kickstarter before, it's an all or nothing platform. So if you don't make the target, then you don't get the money. So, but I would recommend that you really know how much everything costs. So, you know, if your book's 24 pages, go out and get a quote for 100 books, 200 books, 250 books, so that you know how much that's going to cost. Weigh your books so you know how much postage is going to cost, even though that sometimes doesn't help with everything that's going on at the moment. So
I think the postage has all gone up as well. Like I think the early September, all prices went up in Australia. Postage went up for everything.
Yeah. Well, Dan just sent us stuff back for Fractured Shards, and UPS was just ridiculous. Like, you know, I don't even want to say on air how much it cost to get something shipped that wasn't even that big from the US back to us. But you know, these are the things that you have to kind of take into account when you're doing a Kickstarter. So, got a couple of comments here. Moira said, "I need Pegasus." Yeah, I would love a pet Pegasus. That'd be kind of cool. Also, Fractured Shards video was amazing. Yes, Nathan did an amazing video, and I tell you what, I think he's gotten better, which is kind of scary. Like some of the stuff he's done since is great. So. And it had Dan's voice in it too. Yes, it did. And I was lucky enough to have him in the XCT one as well. So he's done a really good voice that you can't kind of tell that it's him, but I'll definitely dob him in and say it was him that's done that. The final two things are just how long you want your campaign to when you want your campaign to launch, and when you want your campaign to end. So there's two options here, which is a fixed number of days, which is what people usually do. But for me, and we do these shows, these live streams and everything, I'm having it end at the end of our show on the 24th of the 10th, so that you know, we can do a little bit of a countdown at the end of the show and everything like that. So yeah, so that's the first page. You know, you usually can fill that out quite quickly. You can always come back and edit and change that, as Stephen said, and then you go on to the next section, which is your rewards. Now, your rewards are what people actually get for backing your project. So you can do as many or as little rewards as you want, but I've always found that about 10 is a good number. Do you agree, Stephen, in regards to the amount of rewards you offer?
Yes, and the one thing which I have absolutely loved is the add-ons, mainly because when it used to be, when there was no add-ons, you had all these multiple rewards for multiple combinations. I'll give you the example. Let's say you had three issues of something, volume 1, volume 2, and you're funding for volume 3. Now, if somebody maybe got volume 1 but missed out on volume 2 and 3, they'll go, okay, just think, if you had 3 items, that's 6 different combinations you need. 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, or just 1 by itself, just 2 by itself, just 3 by itself. You got all this weird and wonderful combinations. It's much easier to just go, you can buy 3, and if you want to add on, you can add on 1 or 2, whatever you like, and it just simplifies the number of rewards you have, because like 10 is probably the nicest number you can get up to, and it's also nice to stack your rewards up. So you don't want a case where if somebody really is generous and really wants to help your project out, and he gets one of the higher tier rewards, and then goes, hey, but wait, I got this really cool reward, but it doesn't have something a lower tier has. And that's not fair. So you try to stack it so that if you get the top reward, you get everything that comes before it as well.
Yeah, it's been quite interesting on this campaign, doing the add-ons for myself, because XCT, we've got 5 single issues, we've got 3 graphic novels, and then we've got a couple of exclusives as well. And it's like, how do you offer all of that without kind of overwhelming people with too many choices? So you'll notice in mine is that I've done the digital bundle, the physical copy, the main copy, but then I've done a digital extreme. So that is everything to do with the Extreme Champion tournament. So it's got 5 different graphic novels, another 5 single issue PDFs, the XCT Infinity issue 1 PDF, and then the digital bundle that comes with this as well. So and then we've just offered the physical collections as well at a bit of a higher price point. But then we've used, as you said, that add-on section to kind of offer those individual rewards as an add-on. So rather than making a whole nother pledge level, and people are like, oh, well, I want that, but I don't want to pay the extra parts. I only just want the comic, or just the that exclusive cover. So that's what we've done. We've offered that as the blank sketch covers, the San Diego Comic Con exclusive one, and then if you want an extra copy of the graphic novels as well. So yeah. How long does it usually take you to do your rewards? I find this to be my hardest part on my Kickstarter at the moment these days.
Not too long actually, because I try to make it easy. So there's like, if you see most my campaigns, they have a very set format, and I always try to offer very similar type rewards, things which are relatively flat and easy to pack, easy to ship. I really try to avoid anything that's slightly bulky to post. So as much as, actually, it's really interesting. I would love to do 3D statues. Just another segue, a quick aside. Way back, we're talking even not that far back, about 4 or 5 years ago, I got a quote to do a bust about this high, like, just the head, shoulders. And it was a custom bust, painted and all the rest of it. Each of them was going to be close to $150, if I remember right, $150. I think that was the US exchange rate at the time. 150, and you had to get 10, so it's like 1,500. That's huge. That's really expensive. But nowadays, in terms of making those small statues, small bust, it's really expensive to start off with, because you actually need someone to create the model for you. But there's a lot of not at home your 3D printers, but like a lot of commercial grade 3D printers who can make busts now for about $20-$30 as opposed to 100 something 50, and they can do it super quick now. So but they are hard to ship. That's the big problem. Is as much as I love to do it, they are so difficult to ship because you got to pack it. It's got to be a nice box. I don't know. I would love to, but it's a lot of rewards I've always considered, but never got around to it.
Well, Moira is saying no Lego figures for the add-ons for this one. So, no, I'm in the process of designing up some Lego figures. So, but I think I want to do like a set rather than just a single figure. So, I thought if I'm going to do it, I might as well do a few of them. And I blame Stephen for getting into Legos. I asked him about the Lego figures on Talos of Sparta, and it's like, oh, hang on a sec, and he goes away, takes a photo, sends me a message of a photo, and here are all of his minifigs and everything everything like that. And I was like, oh, really? I didn't know you were into it. It's like, hell yeah. So definitely do it. I've actually got the Millennium Falcon just behind me. I've been doing that with my little girl over the last couple of weeks while we've been in lockdown and stuff. So
look, I haven't even started you on Bricklink yet. That's my next thing. Bricklink is actually Lego really supports Bricklink, but basically it's a place where you can buy any brick. So what if you find a particular combination of bricks you like, you can actually go and buy the whole set of bricks. So you can buy 10 of the same heads, 10 of the same bodies, 10 of the same feet, and create whatever figure you like. So it's very addictive. It all started when what happened was my daughter actually lost one of the pieces for one of her Lego. She was a little bit upset. And it was a small piece. It was like, oh gosh, I don't want to buy another set, but she was just missing that one piece. My gut feel is we vacuumed it up and it's gone. We never could find it again. So we ordered that one piece. That one piece was 10 cents to get that one piece back, but the postage was like $5. So it's like, you know what? We gotta make it worth our while. I'm gonna pay $5 for a 10-cent piece. So I ended up buying all this other stuff, and yeah, it's very.
That's
addictive.
how they get you. That's.
It's seriously addictive. The piece is 10 cents, but you're just going, I'll get this. And certain pieces are really expensive. Like I think I showed you, Shaun, one of the Ashokas, one of the limited edition Ashokas. It's like a $200 minifig.
Yeah, I could not believe it. Darren has also said Brick Set and Brick Owl are useful too. So I don't need to know this, guys. I collect enough stuff. I'm going to get into trouble if I get any more collecting any more stuff. I'm supposed to be getting rid of some of my stuff. So.
From last week's show, and Maura did post this one up. She actually got some of the blind bags. You know the TV series Marvel What Ifs.
Oh yeah, yep.
Maura, if you've opened it already, we'll be really interested to know which ones you've found.
Yes,
if you open the bags, please do tell us. And your mini Falcon looks awesome. Anyway, sorry.
The next part I'm going to skip over a little bit just because I don't want to show too much of the campaign before next Friday. But the story part is literally a section where you can add in graphics, talk about your project, and split it into certain sections. Of this, we've added a video in here for all the people that haven't read any Extreme Champion tournament. We've got a video in there that they can catch up and watch. We've got our spiel and then some pages from the graphic novel as well. So that's in the story section. The next part is...
before we jump away from the story section, and this is really very much comic related. So you don't have to show anything. You don't have to show this. That's fine. I know you want to keep it secret, but what usually happens is just imagine that somebody sees this in a comic store, and you just have that thinking mindset that if somebody sees, what's the first thing they see? They see the cover. So that should be one of the first things you show in terms of your story is you show the cover. You can have a little bit of blurb or whatever, that's fine. But the cover is the first thing you see. The next thing they should see is, again, imagine if you're in a comic store, you pick this up, they flick through it. You need to show them the pages that's inside. And more importantly, is you need to describe the pages. So in most cases, you can go, is it high gloss? Is it this? Is it 48 pages? Is it 24? Is it 32, 60, 96, or whatever it is? But that type of information needs to be really upfront, really, really quickly. So cover, like Shaun has done, jump straight, and then you can see that almost the next thing he does is jump straight into the interior pages. And that's exactly the right. And then after that, what tends to happen is you tend to then describe the reward structures. Okay, look, I'm interested. You've got me hooked. I like the cover. I like the interiors. What's on offer? And then that's when you look through it. And then afterwards, there's a couple of train of thoughts on this one. And sometimes people put the creative teams in there. And I tend to just put that as a high gloss, stretch goals if you want to put that in. And basically any other bits and pieces you want to put in afterwards. But as long as you cover the cover, interior, and what rewards are on offer, that actually is more than enough for most people. And if somebody actually scrolls beyond all that, you've got them really hooked. If you can get somebody to scroll through your entire page, you've done a really good job. Because to be really fair, when I back a lot of Kickstarters, as you guys know, I do support a lot of other people. I usually stop at the interiors. If you haven't convinced me once I hit the interior pages, or if you start talking about the rewards before the interior pages, you've usually lost me, because you need to hook me before I'm even thinking about putting some money down to support you. And what's your thoughts on those ones in that order? Cover, interiors, and then rewards. That's usually my.
I 100% agree with you. The two things that really frustrate me when I'm backing Kickstarters or thinking about backing Kickstarters is one, they have no interior pages. So there's actually they show a really cool cover and everything like that, and maybe they show a panel or two panels. They actually don't show like a whole page or several pages in the comic. So that is one thing that kind of gets me a little bit like, well, if I can at least see 2 or 3 pages, a little bit more. 5 is where I kind of really like to see. But if I can at least see 2 to 3 pages, then I can get an idea of whether I like the artwork. I'm a very visual person, so I can like a story, but I need to visually really be engaged with the story to want to back it and buy it. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is not actually describing their reward tiers. So then you're having to scroll back up to the top and across the side to read all of the reward tiers, where, those people that put in some really nice graphics on all the reward tiers, you can really go, yep, I want that one. I can see how much I'm getting for that, and I can see the price, and, the higher you go, like you were saying before about building on, what you're giving someone in that reward tier. When you get up to close to that $100 mark, you're like, oh, okay, I feel like I'm getting a deal with the amount of stuff that I'm getting. So they're the two things that I really look for in that story part after that project image has caught me and that log line has interested me.
I agree. But just to put another train of thought out, 2 pages isn't enough for me. If you do show me 2 pages, that's not enough. I'm on. If you ever see my stuff, I've put at least 3-4 pages, and even if I haven't finished it, which some cases, and it's fine, you haven't finished all the works yet, you need to show panels. You need to show as much as you can. I think for Transhuman, because we were still in production, I showed 4 completed pages, about 6 or 7 completed panels, and even some sketches at the end were of the layouts of uncompleted pages. It just, the more you can show is the better, because if you only show 2 pages, you just imagine in a comic shop, you gotta flick through a bit more than that. That's my thing.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was looking at a project the other day, and I won't name the project, but it had 4 like incentive covers or covers and everything like that. Yet it only showed 2 panels of the what the interior work would be like. And I liked the concept, and I liked a couple of the covers, but I just and I know that the interiors are not going to be by the same artist as the covers, because they're all variant covers or whatever, or cover artists. So I was really like, well, I don't know what I'm actually getting when I'm backing this. I don't know like what the book is going to actually look like. So being able to see, at least, as you said, those 4 to 5 pages, you get a really good idea of if you like the look of the story and all that type of stuff. So
definitely. And look, I mean, it's just me personally, but you have to show the insides. It's if you don't, and I'm also always thinking is that there needs to be one cover done by the interior artist. It has to be.
I agree with that. Yeah.
You cannot have I mean, you can have variants. I've different train of thought about that. But I know of your variants, which is absolutely fine. But you cannot have the covers done by nobody who did any interior artwork. As just they have to do at least one. That's my thinking. You have to do at least one.
Yeah. All right. So, okay, before we finish up, the people section is nice and easy. That is just your profile. You can add collaborators. So, like when Stephen and I are doing Kickstarters together, he adds me as a collaborator, or I add him as a collaborator. In regards to the project. So depending on what we're working on. Demographics is optional. You can provide Kickstarter more of your sexual orientation, race, ethnicity, religious background, and those type of things if you want, but that's not important. I'm going to skip over payment because I don't want to show everyone my bank details and everything that are in
and
there.
Your credit card number is have my credit card number in there. So let's just jump past that one.
So
because the last one is actually really interesting.
So payment's really just straightforward. It's your bank details. You need to confirm your ID. You need to have a credit card or another payment system that if any backers request refunds or anything like that it comes out of. So that's just all in the payment section. So that's nice and easy. And then the last section is the promotion one, which is, both Stephen and I use this quite heavily now. And I've got to say, this is probably one of the strongest tools in regards to helping you create excitement, anticipation, and an audience for your Kickstarter, especially if you haven't launched one before. The hardest part is getting people to know about your project before it launches, to get them interested in it, to back it. So these pre-launch pages, as Kickstarter calls them, are fantastic, because that gives you an opportunity to go around, speak to your friends, speak to family, speak to other creators, to connect with people, talk about your project prior to you actually launching it. So, Stephen, I usually try and run the pre-launch page for at least 4 to 6 weeks prior to launching. But I know that for Terra Olympus and Wordsmith, you actually had it up for
months.
Months. And like your last Wordsmith blew up. That was one of your highest funding Kickstarters. Was it one of your most backed, or?
Oh yeah, most backed. It was her. Look, there's a lot of new creators who I do have a chat with every once in a while, And again, not naming names, but this particular Kickstarter creator has about 20 followers, and he's saying to me, "Am I ready to launch?" And I'm going, "Well, it depends what your target is, because if you want something that's small, if you just want to say, family and friends, and you went for say 50 back or something, go for it. But if you want more, you need to try to pick a number. If you think 100 followers is where you need to be, anecdotally, and again, they haven't released a lot of numbers about this, but as most people know, I love my stats. But just anecdotally, you tend to get everything, all your followers, plus about 80%. So hypothetically, if you had 100 followers, you will tend to end up with 180 backers towards the end. It's just pure anecdotal, and it's just based on the projects which data I have and just talking to some of the people I know. So not a huge set, but Talos Sparta was in this subset of the data I collected. But it seems to be about 80%. I don't know if you noticed that as well, Shaun.
Well, I'm using this one as my test one for that. So, for example, on this page, it actually shows you the link to the pre-launch page, as well as how many people are following it at the moment. So, I'll stop sharing this page and jump to the other. The other pre-launch page, and you will see that this is what the pre-launch page looks like. I know a lot of you there have already clicked this notify button, but you can see that at the moment we've got 143 followers that will be notified when we go live on Friday night. Now, our last project, we only got 140, I shouldn't say only, we got 144 backers for the whole campaign. So I'm hoping this one does much better than that, as you said, but that increasing it by about 80%, because prior to launch, I've almost got as many following the project prior to even launching. So this is where I'm saying it's such a great tool, and something that I'll definitely be focusing on a lot of more of that pre-launch promotion to kind of get people clicking on that button and doing it. So if you haven't clicked that button, I would love to get to the 144 mark and get to where we are. So I'll throw it in the chat. So if you haven't hit that notify button, please do it now. But that's how you set up a Kickstarter page. So I hope that was useful for people. I hope you got some tips and ideas around it. We don't pretend to know everything about Kickstarter, but we have done quite a few and feel quite confident in regards to the formula we use, and we hope you enjoyed having a look behind the scenes.
Yep. And we actually have an outro video, which is very, very exciting, mainly because yes, I put that one together. So I'm actually really happy with it.
Yeah, so again, thank you for watching Comics to Movies and More. What will be back again next Sunday for a very special show. We will be making an announcement on Wednesday of what that show is about, who our special guest is going to be, or special guests, plural, which will be phenomenal. So we would love to see you. If you haven't already, please head over to our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. And as always, stay safe.